Hello everybody, my name is Zoe Rebekah. Welcome back to my channel, and today's video is going to be another Life of a Showgirl video. And oh, I need to go put on my cardigan. I need to be on theme with this. I need to go put on my Life of a Showgirl cardigan. I will be right back. All right, now I'm ready for this video. Today we are going to be breaking down, analyzing the Life of a Showgirl, at least the way I interpreted it. Obviously, these are my interpretations and the way I feel about these songs. I personally, right off the bat, just gonna tell you, I really enjoyed this album. I am a Swiftie, like I have been a Swiftie for a few years now, and I genuinely enjoyed this album. I was like genuinely surprised after I reacted to it, and I wasn't really online that much while I was reacting to it and while I was editing my reaction, and then I was surprised to see the response from some people about this album. I'm not really gonna engage with all of that because it's not really productive for me to engage with nonsense. I mean, like, there's a difference between valid constructive criticism and unnecessary uncalled for hate, you know what I mean? And I feel like people don't understand that difference sometimes, but like I said, I'm not gonna get mad at people for not liking it. Like, people are allowed to not like it. I personally enjoy it. I'm allowed to enjoy it, and I'm going to keep enjoying it, and nobody's going to stop me from enjoying it, and even if you try to stop me from enjoying it, I don't know why you're doing that, because that's kind of weird. And I'm not gonna waste my time trying to convince people who don't enjoy it to enjoy it. First of all, many of them will just come around on their own. I'm sure of it. This happens literally every time she releases an album. This happened with the last two new albums. If we're not counting re-recordings, and even counting re-recordings, people were, you know, had something to say about those. And, you know, with Midnights, with Tortured Poets, people had their opinions about those albums as well. And now people have come around on them a lot. So I'm sure in time, people will come around on this album. But as I said, I'm not going to engage with nonsense. So this video is going to be focused on breaking down the songs, how I feel about them, the lyrics, the production, all of that stuff. So I'm gonna go track by track, and I'm gonna do a little overview real quick. I'm just gonna say her vocals on this album I think are amazing, truly. Like, I feel like if you listen to like the original Fearless album, like, and then you listen to this album, you can really hear the growth and progression in her vocals. And I want to just admire that and take a second to appreciate how impressive her vocals have become and how good they sound on this album. And I really like the production. It's intriguing, it's well done. Taylor, Max, and Shellback, thank you for mostly upbeat songs. There's like one song that's not upbeat, and we'll get there. But if you saw my reaction, you know how I felt initially about all of these songs. I didn't really want to include many later thoughts that I had after processing them, because I wanted it to be an authentic initial reaction, and that's what it was. And now that it's been 5 days since the album has come out, as when I'm filming this, and I have digested and processed a lot of it, and I've listened to these songs a bunch of times at this point, so I have, like, my ranking changes all the time. Like, don't get me wrong, my number one stays the same, which we'll get to, but my ranking changes, like, it varies a little bit every day, honestly. So yeah, we'll see what my final ranking ends up being after this has digested even more. So anyway, the production is intriguing, it's well done. I personally like the lyricism on most of this. Like, yes, Taylor is a millennial. She's a proud millennial. She's always been clearly proud to be a millennial. And yes, there's a lot of these lyrics that are a little bit millennial and cringe, and I get that, and I get why people don't like that, but a lot of it's intentional, and a lot of it is just her being herself, and I don't see anything wrong with that. And I also, like, there's a lot of, like, specific lyrics on this album that I'm like, are people not hearing this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not even gonna go into tangents about what I've been seeing, but, you know, I didn't expect Folk Levermore. Like, I didn't expect that, because that was like a one-time thing. Those two albums were a two-time thing, you know what I mean? It was like a package deal with the two of them, but, you know, that's not gonna happen again, you know what I mean? And can we just be thankful that her muse doesn't make her want to off herself? Can we, like, please be grateful for that? And I expected a pop record, which is what I got. She is so millennial throughout this album, like I said, but, like, she's always been like this. Like, you can go back throughout her discography and see plenty of instances of cringe millennial lyrics. That is just her, and I don't see anything wrong with her being herself, you know what I mean? We love her, and she should be allowed to be herself. And also, she was so clear when she was describing this album on the podcast. She was always very clear that this was about the life of a showgirl behind the scenes, not a showgirl's life on stage. Those are two completely different concepts, and I feel like people are not understanding or choosing to ignore that. And these songs are, in my opinion, all so catchy that a different part of different songs get stuck in my head like all the time. Ever since it came out, like different parts of each of different songs have gotten stuck in my head. And like literally every single song, it's on a rotation, all 12 songs. There's not a single song that doesn't get stuck in my head. So like genuinely, there is not a single song that I can say I don't like. I can say that there are songs I don't like as much as others, but I don't think there is a single song that I genuinely don't like on this album. So take my opinion for what it's worth, but like, first of all, I'm a writer. I like writing. I feel like I can say that I have pretty decent media literacy and reading comprehension skills. And a lot of these lyrics, like they just clicked for me instantly because I was able to understand them. I don't know, I watched a lot of reactions for this album. Half the people I watched like first like understood a lot of it like I did. I mean, obviously there were certain things that I didn't instantly get. I'm not like a genius that understood literally every part of it right away, but you know, some people really understood it right away and some people just like did not understand what was going on. Like I could tell that they just didn't get it. Like I watched this one girl react and I knew she was a Swiftie and I watched her videos a lot, and you could just see that she was not understanding what she was talking about, and it was kind of like I had to turn the video off because it was kind of frustrating me that she wasn't understanding what was going on, but that is what it is. But let's just like get into the track by track. I'm just like rambling now and I'm sorry, I'm trying really hard not to be negative right now, but like Taylor said, she's embracing the chaos and it's the first week of her album release. If you're saying her name or the title of her album, then you're helping, so thank you for helping. All right, anyway, The Fate of Ophelia, which has already broken a bunch of records. Let's just start with that. The Fate of Ophelia is the lead single and the opening track, and it is the perfect opening track in my opinion. The bookends of this album are so well done, which we will also get into with the title track at the very end. And for The Fate of Ophelia, the melody and the production work so well with the lyrics. It's so catchy, it keeps getting stuck in my head. Like, keep it 100 on the land, the sea, sky. That part keeps getting stuck in my head. Honestly, the whole chorus gets stuck in my head, but it's just so good. It's pop perfection. Like, I'm so happy that people are liking this song. I really like it too. I genuinely believe that this will get her first Song of the Year Grammy Award, which has been well overdue. She is the most nominated and has never won once, and she's the songwriter of this generation. Why has she not gotten one? Who knows? Maybe this will finally get her that award, which I'm sure she's been wanting. And I love that she took another Shakespeare story and changed the ending to be more positive. Full circle from Love Story. And you know, I just want to, you know, like, I understand that like some people don't like the whole notion of the you don't need to save me, but will you run away with me to you saved my heart from the fate of Ophelia pipeline, which I do understand that to an extent. It somewhat comes across as oversimplifying Ophelia's fate and her story, but I really don't think it's that deep. Like, honestly, I don't think it's that deep. She wanted a fun pop love song that is another happy ending adaptation of a Shakespeare story, and that is what she achieved. So yeah, thank you Travis for making our girl so obviously happy. And like, I love the pipeline from the prophecy to the fate of Ophelia, like, or this whole album, honestly. There's not a lot on this album that doesn't have to do with her being happy, which I actually really like. You know what I mean? Like, let our girl be happy. And I feel like I come with an interesting perspective to a lot of these songs because like I've seen a lot of people be like they were in such a bad place when Tortured Poets came out. I was too, honestly. I've been with the same guy since before midnight, so I've been through a lot with him, and you know, I wasn't like experiencing heartbreak during any of these album releases like she was, and I don't feel like a total complete shift in my life like she has in that way because I've been with the same partner the whole time. Not that I'm not happy. I am happy with him. I wouldn't be with him if I wasn't happy with him, you know what I mean? But you know, we have changed a lot in our lives, and you know, we went from when Midnights came out, I was living in Pennsylvania, and then when Torture Pose came out, I was living in Florida, and then when The Life of a Showgirl came out, I was living in New York, where I am now. So I've gone through a lot of different changes with these different albums, and I don't know, I just feel like that gives me a little bit of an interesting perspective, and I don't know, I don't even really know where I was going with that, to be honest with you. But her joy and her happiness like seeps through the lyrics throughout this album, and like it makes me really happy for her, but it also really like I don't know how to explain this, but like I have been through a lot in my life, I posted a TikTok about this and I'm like, I've been through a lot of trauma, not necessarily deep heartbreak like she has, but I've been through a lot of non-romantic trauma and hard things in my life, and I feel like I'm in a much better place than I have been. Like she is, like she's in a much happier, better mental state and place in her personal life, and she's happy and in love, and you know, it makes me hopeful for myself about being happier. But I don't know how to explain it. Like I've been through a lot of trauma and a lot of bullshit in my life, and I feel like I've been able to come out on the other side of the tunnel like she has, and I don't know, I just feel like people are missing the inspiration throughout this album, and there's so much hope and lightheartedness and happiness and joy and wittiness that people are missing out on. And I want to see exactly what I said in my TikTok. As a woman who's been so unhappy and has gone through so much trauma and is now in a loving relationship with a man who loves me more than anything, and while I'm still not a completely happy person, I've grown and learned a lot, and I'm in a much different place than how I was even a few years ago. This album feels truly cathartic to me, and I stand by that. It feels like a release. She's no longer like harping on negativity and cynicism and hopelessness, and she's not accepting her fate of being alone. She's accepting that she's happy, you know what I mean? And you know, the whole keep it 100 thing that was mentioned on the podcast
have a specific significance.
Exactly.
Keep it like 100? Do you not keep it 100 ever?
I'm trying to.
You know, with the whole numerology thing and her and Travis being 87 and 13, which equals 100 and blah blah blah. But that lyric, the way she says it, is such an earworm. And she said, fuck them birds. Pledge allegiance to your hands, your team, your vibes. She's saying, no more Eagles. Go Chiefs.
Mama is the guy on the Chiefs. Coming straight home.
I love the vocals at the end of the bridge where she says, all because you came for me. Oh, I love the way she sings that. It's so good. And for context, I feel like some people aren't familiar with who Ophelia even is, but Ophelia is a character from Shakespeare's Hamlet who essentially went insane and died from drowning due to Hamlet's actions of abuse toward her, essentially. She wanted his love and he could not give it to her. She was driven to insanity by her lack of love, and she's saying that Travis saved her from this fate. And I feel like it's not exactly hard to understand, but some people aren't getting it, so I figured I would explain. All right, moving on to track 2, Elizabeth Taylor. You have to say it like that. Elizabeth Taylor. It keeps getting stuck in my head. Such a banger. Like the melodies, the production, I love them. The chorus constantly gets stuck in my head. I just want to scream, I'd cry my eyes by little Elizabeth Taylor. Like, especially as someone with blue eyes as well, like, and I cry a lot, so I can relate. And I want to say that I love that she, like, the I'd cry my eyes violet Elizabeth Taylor, because she has blue eyes, and when she cries they turn red, and red and blue together is purple. Genius. And also the lyric, what could you possibly get from the girl who has everything and nothing all at once, is such a succinct yet profound statement. And I feel like most of these song lyrics apply to both Taylor and Elizabeth Taylor, and I love when she does that. And the beat drop was awesome, and I love this song. It's like up there on one of my favorites. And you know, I love the lyrics of the chorus. I'd cry my eyes violet Elizabeth Taylor. Tell me for real, do you think it's forever? Been #1 but I never had to, and I can't have fun if I can't have be my NY when Hollywood hates me. You're only as hot as your last hit, baby. Been #1 but I never had to, and I can't have fun if I can't have you. And the way I interpret the lyric, I've been #1 but I never had to, I interpret that as meaning she's never been #1 in terms of her career and romantically at the same time. Like, she has been at separate times individually, like she's been #1 in terms of her career and then romantically at separate times, but never at once until now. And I love the lyric, they say I'm bad news, I just say thanks. It's my new motto. And all the right guys promised they'd stay under bright lights, they withered away, but you bloom. Portofino is on my mind, and I think you know why is so beautiful as well. Like, Portofino is where Richard Burton proposed to Elizabeth Taylor the first time, because they were married twice, if you didn't know that. And all my white diamonds and lovers are forever in the papers, on the screen, and in their minds contains a reference to the White Diamonds Elizabeth Taylor perfume, which is one of the most successful celebrity perfumes to exist, which came out in 1991. And Elizabeth Taylor has a lasting legacy. Elizabeth Taylor, tell me for real, do you think it's forever? That's what that lyric, you know, means. And just like Taylor Swift has had and will have. And the whole song song contains the theme of like, will I live on forever like Elizabeth Taylor? And will I be loved and cherished? And will my legacy be valued like Elizabeth Taylor's is? You know what I mean? I feel like that's what I got from the song. And I love it so much. All right, moving on to track 3, Opalite. I love this song as well. It's so cute and catchy. I love you, Austin Swift. Like my brother used to call it eating out of the trash. It's never gonna last. I love that. The dynamic between Taylor and Austin reminds me so, like from what I know about them, it reminds me so much of me and my own brother because we're the same age gap. He's my younger brother. Just Austin and Zach remind me so much of each other. Like from what I know about Austin, he reminds me a lot of my own brother. But I love the quick little shade thrown at Travis's ex. She's been annoying and bitter this whole relationship, honestly, vocally. And apparently there were claims of her kind of abusing their relationship for clout while they were dating. So this lyric certainly tracks. And I honestly think this lyric is more to convey how Taylor, is present with Travis and she genuinely and wholly loves him. You know what I mean? And you finally left the table, and what a simple thought. You're starving till you're not. You move on. She's finally left the restaurant, which is a callback to Right Where You Left Me from Evermore, where she says, help, I'm still at the restaurant, sitting in a corner I haunt, which is a whole metaphor for not being able to move on. And she's saying, I left the restaurant, basically like I've moved on and I'm happy. And she's completely and confidently moved the fuck on, and I'm very proud and happy for her. Okay, I love this song. I understand why this is Travis's favorite. Hello guys. One other thing I wanted to add in here real quick is that something that Taylor discussed on like talk shows and like on the track by track version of the album is that for this song, Opalite is man-made opal, as I discussed in my reaction. And the reason that it's called like Opalite and like that's the central theme of the song is because sometimes you can't expect happiness to come to you. You have to create it yourself. So she created that happiness for herself. And I kind of think it ties back to Maroon, where I looked up at the sky and it was maroon, and now the sky is opalite. So, and obviously opal is Travis's birthstone, so that also has something to do with it. So yep, just wanted to add that real quick. Number 4, Father Figure. This is Theo's favorite song on the album, I believe. And I had all my predictions. I was like, I have a feeling Father Figure is gonna be ending Scott Borchetta. Like, I was so like pretty sure about that before I listened to it. And it definitely is about that. And I was so satisfied when I heard it. It made me so mad when I heard it. Like, if you saw my reaction, you know that like the content just made me so mad and angry, but I love the song so much. But I was hoping for Scott Borchetta ending song. So this certainly satisfied me. And the George Michael interpolation is so very subtle, and I appreciate that, but I also appreciate that it's still present and she still gave him credit because of, you know, that wouldn't be in line with her and also with George Michael and what he had to go through. I don't know too much about that, but I'm pretty sure he had to fight with his label as well, and she wouldn't do that. She wouldn't do that. But yeah, anyway, love that. Love a key change. I was not expecting a key change on this album, but I appreciate it. And I honestly like both the clean and the explicit version of the chorus. Like, I can make deals with the devil because my dick's bigger or my check's bigger. I honestly like both. Like, but my dick's bigger is so satisfying to me. And she said my dick is huge. And I feel like this song is like one of the best executed conceptually and lyrically, in my opinion. And it's very catchy. So like this song kind of achieves all of it. Like, it's catchy, the lyrics are good, and it's conceptually really well done in my opinion. And it's, from how I interpret it, this is Scott Borchetta speaking to Taylor Swift until it shifts before the key change, and then it shifts to her perspective. Well, I think at the bridge is when she shifts her, when the perspective shifts to hers. But yeah, like, your thoughtless ambition sparked the ignition on foolish decisions which led to misguided visions, that to fulfill your dreams you had to get rid of me, which is so beautiful. Such beautiful lyricism. I don't know if people are missing this, but this is obviously about Scott Borchetta, and I don't know how people don't get that. But I was satisfied with this song and I love it. I think it's so catchy. I think it's so well done. I've seen people say that they think it's about Olivia Rodrigo, and I think that's absolutely deranged. I need you guys to get off of Twitter and TikTok sometimes. Like, go touch grass sometimes and think about what you're saying and what you're thinking. Okay, anyway, moving on. Track 5, Eldest Daughter. This song, it's dropped in my rankings a bit since I first heard the album. Like, it's definitely not, like, it's not my top 5 anymore. It used to be like number 2. It's not my top 5 anymore. It's like number 8, but I still love it. Like, don't get me wrong. I think that it's being way overlooked and overhated and people are not understanding it. Like, when I first listened to it, it like actually like broke me. It ruined me. It made me saw my eyes out. And I've never so viscerally responded to a song after hearing it for the first time like that. Like, I really did cry a lot. And I do cry to music all the time, but like I've never like reacted like that to hearing a song for the first time. But like, it was just very touching to me. I'm the eldest daughter, you know. There was like, let me get into my notes here. People are ripping the lyrics of this song to shreds, which I am not going to ignore. People are missing the point entirely, in my opinion. I mean, you're allowed to not like what you don't like, but people are not understanding this song. Like, I just don't think they're getting it. Like, eldest daughters are like inherently cringe, and I'm telling you guys all of this as an eldest daughter, as the eldest grandchild, cousin. I'm the oldest out of all the children in my family. I'm not a child, but you know what I mean. Not like, I'm the oldest cousin, I'm the oldest grandchild, I'm the oldest sibling, the eldest daughter, whatever. And you know, eldest daughters, like toward the beginning of the song, she sings, "I have been afflicted by a terminal uniqueness. I've been dying just from trying to seem cool." That is the thesis statement of the song. She is intentionally choosing cringe phrasings because she's not trying to be cool anymore. And the beginning of the first verse is like, everybody's so punk on the internet, everybody's unbothered till they're not, everything's just trolling and memes, cold as it seems, apathy is hot, or whatever. I can't remember the specific lyrics, I'm like paraphrasing, but this narrator is mimicking things they've seen, and it's supposed to be, oh my god, okay. I will not lie, there are a lot of ideas going on in this song. She's singing about being the eldest daughter in general, like that is the overarching theme. It's called Eldest Daughter because it's about being an eldest daughter. And she's also discussing her love for Travis and how he's the youngest child, and she's also singing about internet trolling and her younger brother. So I understand why some people are finding this song a bit confusing. Like, I understand that. As an eldest daughter with a younger brother, the eldest cousin, the eldest grandchild, blah blah blah, I do resonate with this song. I'm also in a relationship with a man who happens to be the youngest son. He has 3 older brothers, and I feel like that just happens a lot. Like, eldest daughters, youngest sons get together a lot, and that's what happened with us. So like, I could connect with this song in many ways, and with what she's saying and just her in general. And I think it's sonically beautiful. I think the melody's beautiful. You know, I'm not a bad bitch, this isn't savage. Like, it's supposed to be cringe, and I appreciate it for what it is. Honestly, I love it. I love it. Like I said at the beginning, there's not a single song I don't like. Now let's get to my favorite song on the album. Track 6, Ruin the Friendship, which has completely broken the mold from traditional track 6s, which are usually supposed to pick you back up after the emotional roller coaster of the track 5. Which, so this time, this album, she decided to make me cry viscerally during track 5, and then during track 6 I didn't cry, but I was very emotionally hit, and when I went back and listened to it the second time, I did cry. So yeah, anyway, my favorite song on the album is Ruin the Friendship. The plot twist nobody expected. And for context, this song is obviously about the same subject that Forever Winter is about. She was friends with this guy in high school, Jeff Lang, and unfortunately he passed away at 21, and he ended his life, and he struggled with mental health and substance abuse issues, and we knew they were close friends, and that death really significantly impacted her throughout her life, and especially during that time. Like, that was a very formative time of her life. She was very young when that happened, and it has impacted her clearly, and like it would impact anyone. And we knew that they were close and that death impacted her, but what we didn't have confirmation of until now is that she was romantically interested in Jeff, and she never got the chance to tell him how she felt or take any action to show him that. It's a song about taking chances before they become regrets. When she sings, "My advice is always ruin the friendship, better that than to regret it for all time, should have kissed you anyway. My advice is always answer the question, better that than to ask it all your life, should have kissed you anyway." And the production and melodies to me are so infectious. I love a sad upbeat bop that really keeps me intrigued. Like, I was really intrigued listening to this song for the first time, and I love the visual imagery that she creates on this song. It's such an important song. It might be some of the best storytelling on the song in my opinion. I don't know if people are understanding the song either. And okay, now I'm gonna get into why this song is so important to the album and in general in her discography, it's such an important song. Okay, let me get into why. It tells a story of something that she thought of behind the scenes, which is on theme for this album. So let me start with that. This is something that she was clearly thinking about because it's something that you don't get over. This story has a subtextual theme of I'm living the life of a showgirl, therefore I miss out on important events and relationships. And she sings in the title track, now I know the life of a showgirl, babe, and I'll never know another. And like that lyric in that song really connects to this whole song. And like I feel like people don't understand how this song fits in place with this album, but that is my understanding of it. Like she's living the life of a showgirl, therefore she has to miss out on things in her personal life, and she has to live with regrets because she's missed out on things, you know what I mean? And this song also, oh my god, this is so important too. This song also likely explains her pattern of, you know, past relationships. There's this notion that Taylor Swift doesn't like to be single or alone, and as soon as she ends a relationship, she hops into a new one. And I personally think this song tells us a lot about that. Like it tells us that this situation with Jeff was a catalyst for her mentality to shift, and she has taken advantage of just about every opportunity she's been able to, because that feeling of regret and what could have been has, you know, haunted and impacted her ever since it happened. And losing a close friend, especially one who you had feelings for and never got a chance to act on them or communicate them, is something that I don't believe you ever truly move on from or get over. And you can cope with and manage the grief, but it never really truly goes away. And as somebody who has attempted to end my own life many times, especially as a teenager, this song is also really important to me because it's provided me an alternative perspective. Not that I didn't understand fundamentally that that choice impacts the people around me, but hearing it in this way really, like, it's moving to me, and it really like provides that perspective that I haven't had, you know? Like I've been on the other end of this, and the perspective she's singing from is not mine all the time, you know what I mean? And it showcases how this choice can have lasting impacts on the people around you, whether you realize how profoundly you've left your mark on the world or not. And often people who commit to are not aware of their impact because their mind is so clouded with cynicism and hopelessness. Believe me, I would know. Like, it's really hard to live like that, and they don't understand. Like, I've been there, like, not even that long ago, where I felt like I don't bring anything good to the world, and you know what I mean? Like, obviously it's been a while since I've really truly felt like that, but it's something that never really fully goes away for me. It always comes in and out depending on where I'm at in my life. But as I said, like, people who think about doing that or wind up doing that are usually not aware of the impact that it creates on the people around them and on the world. And I saw a bunch of people saying that she wrote Jeff one last song before she gets married, and it's really sweet. Like, honestly, something like this, like I said, it never ever leaves you. And this song also showcases much of Taylor's like unprocessed grief and guilt around this situation and the lasting impacts it's had on her throughout the rest of her life. As I said, this song certainly provides an eye-opening perspective on Taylor's relationship patterns, including seeking different parts of Jeff in her exes, I feel, at times. And Jeff was the one guy she never had and couldn't save, and it's impacted her. And that's why this song is so important, and I genuinely just love it so much. It's my favorite song on the album, and I love it so much. Okay, I could go on and on and on and on about Ruin the Friendship, so let's move on to track 7, Actually Romantic. This song gagged me. Enter Taylor, honestly. Like, I don't really have a lot to say about this because I don't like know a whole lot about this situation. Like, I instantly understood the song. If you saw my reaction, I'm gonna keep referencing my reaction because a lot of it, like, I understood. Like, when I was reacting to it, like, I knew this was about Charlie XCX. As soon as, like, I heard the first line, as soon as I heard the word coke, I knew it was about her. And I had no idea the beef was that deep, as I said in my reaction, but clearly there were things done and comments made outside of the public eye. People seem to, like, think that this is like a reaction to Sympathy is a Knife, like a response song to Sympathy is a Knife by Charlie XCX. Taylor would not have gone this hard merely as a reaction to Sympathy is a Knife. I'll tell you that right now. Obviously, Charlie was doing and saying things to and about Taylor behind the scenes that we didn't know about. I mean, I know she said something about how when she opened for the Rep Tour, which, by the way, gave her her biggest platform to date, which was opening for Taylor on the Rep Tour. She, like, disrespected Taylor and her fans when she was, like, looking back on that experience. experience. And obviously, like, you know, and to that I say I've never been a Charlie XCX fan personally. I don't really like her music at all, if I'm being honest. So I don't really personally care about how she would respond to this. And I obviously appreciate different perspectives on everything in life. But as someone who's had a lot of haters in my comments and other girls who hate me to the point where they seem obsessed with me, I do love this song and its sentiment. Honestly, it's so catchy. So, you know, it's a love letter to my haters, like she said, and I like it. It's not like in my top 5, but I do like the song. All right, track 8, Wish List. It's a very cute song. It made me like a little bit emo to know that her perspective has shifted so much thanks to Travis. And as I pointed out in my reaction video, the reason for the dollar signs obviously is that in the verses she's describing luxurious living and symbols of wealth, and in the chorus she's saying that she just wants Travis. That's all that's on her wish list. Boss up, settle down, got a wish list, I just want you. She doesn't need high monetary value tangible items, even though we know she has that. Like, let's be real, she has that stuff anyway. But people are thinking way too deeply about this song. One, of course, she's a billionaire, she has money, and I don't think she means that she's completely unaware of her wealth. I think she's being genuine and that she just cares about Travis and their love more than that wealth. You know what I mean? Like, it's not exactly the most relatable song, but as somebody who really does love my own partner, like, I do relate to that in that aspect. You know what I mean? The whole conservative MAGA conversation is like so absurdly ridiculous to me. Like, I don't even want to like engage with that nonsense. God forbid a successful woman is getting married and has a desire for kids with the love of her life who makes her incredibly happy, God forbid, and a white woman and a white man have kids, they're gonna be white. That's common sense, I fear.
That's like common sense, I fear.
And Travis is literally a professional athlete, so there are references to sports. I'm so shocked. Like, people need to get their freaking heads out of their asses. Okay, moving on to track 9, Wood. Hate on this song all you want, I love it. Like, I think it's the last on my ranking, but I do love it. I do really love it. I don't have a lot of notes about this because I really just don't have that much to say about it. Like, the production is so upbeat and funky. Like, I love it. It gives me Jackson 5 vibes. Like, it's really, it's upbeat and funky. I do love the production. It's like, I do love it. The lyrics weave together the ideas of superstitions as well as Travis's dick. Okay, I say good for her. Good for her. I've had to come around on this song a little bit more than others, honestly, but I do love it. I think it's fun and cute. It's not that deep and it doesn't have to be, in my opinion. You know, that's all I really have to say about the song. You know, it's funky, it's cool, it's snazzy. It's the last on my ranking, but I still love it. Okay, track 10, Cancelled. She said, Blake Lively, get behind me. At first, I didn't make the Blake Lively connection, honestly. Like, I genuinely didn't see it. And I just thought it was like generally making fun of cancel culture and how everyone gets canceled and how since she's been the target of so much scrutiny, people go to her when they find themselves in controversies or living under a microscope because they know that she gets it more than most. But the lyric, they stood by me before my exoneration, they believed I was innocent, so I'm not here for judgment, definitely feels Blake Lively coded because she always stood by Taylor back in 2016. So the more I listened to it and read the lyrics, the more I realized like she is doing that. Like, she is commenting on cancel culture and how ridiculous it is and how easy it is for people to get canceled, but she's also defending Blake Lively as well as all of her friends, most of whom have been involved in some sort of controversy. Let's be real, most of her friends have been involved in controversies. And I do love this song, but it's not one of my favorites either. It's lower on my list, but I have a similar feeling about this song that I did about Who's Afraid of Little Old Me, which like I was gagged when I first heard it. I love it, but it's not my like specific style preference, and it's haunting and wicked and it's melodically satisfying. The sonic tone of the song does match well with the lyrics, and it was interesting to hear a different perspective from her about the topic of cancellation and cancel culture that isn't directly about her. Like, it's about her friends being canceled rather than her, which I thought was interesting. But the derangement on the internet about this song, as well as a few others, is crazy. Like, I might get canceled for saying this myself, but like, you can think a woman is annoying without discrediting her experiences and or talents. And I'll leave it at that.
And I think people are completely misinterpreting the lyric, girl boss too close to the sun. Like, this is, to me, I thought it was a reference to what Candace Owens said about Taylor Swift's alleged involvement with the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni thing. Because she made that comment like earlier in the year, and I'm pretty sure that's what Taylor is referencing. I don't think that she just wrote girl boss too close to the sun unintentionally, or like, I'm pretty sure that's what that came from, and I think people are misinterpreting that. And let me be very clear, I hate Candace Owens.
All right, track 11, Honey. I love this song. This is like one of my favorite songs. It is so smart and cute. I love it. It's adorable. The melody's addictive. Like I genuinely love this song so much. Like, You Can Be My Forever nightstand is so sweet and cute. Like, that clicked for me instantly. I saw people thinking that she was talking about like a literal nightstand, and I was like, no, like one nightstand, forever nightstand. I thought it was cute, and I love the shift of the meaning with the terms honey and lovely and sweetheart, and Travis redefining those terms for her from these like condescending tones and connotations from mostly bitter other women to him meaning them lovingly and genuinely. I love that. When anyone called me lovely, they were finding ways not to praise me, but you say it like you're in awe of me, and you stay until the morning, honey, which is so cute. I love it. And also I feel like it calls back to, you said normal girls were boring, but you were gone by the morning, from The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. So yeah, I feel like that calls back to that as well. And sweetie, it's yours, kicking indoors, take it to the floor, give me more by the paint in the color of your eyes, and graffiti my whole damn life, honey, is also so sweet. I love that lyric so much. Okay, all right, that's all I really have about Honey, but like it's a very straightforward, simple song, but it's so sweet and cute, and I love it so much. It makes me think of my boyfriend. All right, track 12, Life of a Showgirl, featuring Sabrina Carpenter. I love this song. I love it. Like, let me start with that. I do love it. I love when Sabrina sings, hey kitty, now I'm making money being pretty and witty, because like that not only calls back to like the beginning of the song, because Sabrina says that at the end, but the beginning when she says her name was Kitty, she made her money being pretty and witty, but it also like really heavily applies to Sabrina. Like, that is what she's doing. She's making her money being pretty and witty, and I love that for her. And also, like, obviously Sabrina Carpenter is an amazing singer. I love her voice. She sounds great on this song. I love the way they sound together. I love both of their voices on this song. But like, I feel like this song is the most like showgirl song sonically and lyrically on this album, in my opinion. And you know, I love all the headshots on the walls of the dance hall of bitch. I can't fucking talk. And all the headshots on the walls of the dance hall are of the bitches who wish I'd hurry up and die, but I'm immortal now, baby dolls. I couldn't if I tried. That is so true. Yes, I love this lyric. It's so true. I'm so glad you know your worth, Taylor Swift. You are immortal. And again, and now I know the life of a showgirl, babe, and I'll never know another is like the thesis statement of this album. You know, the life of a showgirl entails constant scrutiny and living under a microscope and missing out on any sense of normalcy. Every decision you make so profoundly dictating your life, which applies to everyone to an extent, but obviously Taylor feels it on such a much larger scale. And that lingering feeling of being so easily disposed of and replaced. And the Eras Tour outro on the song makes me emotional. It feels so final. Like, I get it because it's like the last part of the album, which like works so well. It's like the grand finale of the album, and I love that, but it just makes me so emo. But yeah, their voices both just sound so good on this song. But yeah, those are all of my notes about the specific songs, and now I will reveal my ranking. So the first song, oh my god, number 1 on my ranking is Ruin the Friendship, as I have mentioned. And then 2 is Elizabeth Taylor. 3 is Honey. 4 is Father Figure. 5 is Opalite. 6 is The Fate of Ophelia. 7 is The Life of a Showgirl. 8 is Eldest Daughter. 9 is Actually Romantic. 10 is Cancelled. 11 is Wishlist, and 12 is Wood. So that is my current ranking. It keeps changing, but that's my current ranking and all of my notes about this album. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I worked on these notes for a while, and obviously there's probably more digesting for me to do about these lyrics and this album in general, and I don't know what else is gonna come, but also I'll show you right there, my signed CD. You see that? There's my signed CD. I got the cardigan, I got the CD that came with the cardigan, I got the signed CD, and then I got another CD with the bundle, and then I got the vinyl, which is not here yet, but we'll see when that comes. But yeah, I will leave it at that. All right, I'm gonna end this video here. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give it a big thumbs up, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Share this video on my channel to those you think might be interested, and leave me comments down below. Comment other video suggestions in the comments, and make sure you guys get copies of both my books, my memoir Bottles on the Borderline, and my poetry book, Erotic Anthology by Psychology. And follow me on all my other social medias. Everything is linked down below. Alright, that's gonna be it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you go stream The Life of a Showgirl, watch all my other videos, and yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.